What's going on, everybody? Good afternoon. It's 12 o'clock, 12:08 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My name is Dave McCrae, coming to you live from the VoiceMann Studios in Toronto, Canada. This is episode 156 of McCrae Live. The date today is Tuesday, March the 30th, 2021. And welcome everybody. Welcome if you're watching live, welcome if you're watching after the fact, whatever you're doing, wherever you are around the world, welcome. So today I wanted to, I know the new Saw trailer dropped today, and that's the buzz that everybody is talking about. I watched it this morning. Well, not this morning, I guess this morning, about half an hour ago. I don't know. I mean, I think if you're a diehard Saw fan, like Saw, yeah, I think you'll watch and be like, ooh. For somebody like me, I really liked the first Saw. I remember seeing that in the theater back in 2004. Really liked it. Saw 2, I think, was just kind of fun because it was just revisiting sort of, because it was at a time when that kind of movie, so like Saw, Hostel, those kind of like torture porn kind of like, wow, like we'd never seen anything like it before. And Saw, the first Saw, is tame compared to some of the rest of the sequels, right? So, love the ending of Saw, where he's like lying there on the ground the whole time. It's like, wow, fuck, no way. You know what I mean? Saw 2 was like, oh, okay, by the time you got to 3 and 4, and, it's like, okay, it's. So when I watched this movie, I'm like, okay, again, I'm not a Saw expert, but it feels like they're just doing the same thing as the first Saw. So they've gone back to more of the 7 vibe. Saw's not 7, but I mean, it's that kind of like detective. I mean, there's always been that angle to it, but it feels a little more mature than maybe some of the sequels. But it feels, and again, I'm no Saw expert, but it feels like it's a repackaged kind of, okay, we're going to do it now. Now it's a copycat. I mean, I don't know. And I'm sure they'll connect. I mean, it looks, I wouldn't go to the theater to see it. Let's just put it that way. When it ends up on Netflix or Amazon Prime or wherever it goes, I'll watch it. But I'm not excited enough by the trailer to be like, oh, yes. Didn't do it for me. I'm not saying it's going to be a bad movie. Just the trailer was like, okay, I mean, we've same kind of thing, but repackaged a bit. I don't know. That's how I felt. Comment below and let me know your thoughts if you're watching after the fact. In the chat room, what did you think? What did you think of the Saw trailer? It was, it was kind of okay. I don't know. It was okay. It was okay. It didn't get me excited necessarily. It was just okay. All right. Well, we'll see how this goes. However, on today's episode, I wanted to talk about the It's Me, Billy trailer that dropped on Friday. We dropped it on Friday, March the 26th. And of course, if you've been living under a rock on my channel, you don't know that, of course, is the official trailer for the Black Christmas fan film that we are going to be releasing on May the 28th. There's always, who knows? There's always, life happens, and there could be a crazy thing that happens where we have to push it, but that's the goal at the very least. And don't think we should need to push it. But you never know. But no, May the 28th is the day. And I just want to say, before I walk through a bit of the trailer and how we came to the idea of releasing that as the trailer, I want to say, first of all, thank you to everybody who has reached out to me. I can't respond to every message, but I do try to read all of them. And I just want to say thank you to everybody who, for your positive feedback, your comments, your love and support has just been amazing. And I know Bruce would say the same thing. He agrees with me 100%. So this is coming from myself and Bruce. It's coming from everybody. I'm pretty sure I can speak on behalf of the entire cast and crew of the film when we say thank you for your positive feedback. It has been tremendous. It's been really cool. Big shout out, of course, to John Squires, I think his name is, Freddy in Space, on Twitter over at Bloody Disgusting, for continuing to cover our film. Really appreciate that. They've been great in doing that, and we appreciate it. I was talking a bit about this yesterday on Two Dudes and Some Bullshit, but I want to sort of talk about it here too, is, you know, one of the things that when you shoot a professional film, like I said, it's an indie shoot, it's low budget, but it's professional in the sense of the production value, the crew, the equipment, the cast, you know. But when you shoot a professional film, whether it's indie, whether it's, you know, well, usually when it's indie, but when it has the title fan film, you're already behind the eight ball, because the vast majority of fan films are, you know, just people in their backyards having fun with their phones, right? I mean, that's the vast majority of them. Now, that's not all of them. There's some pretty good looking fan films out there. Halloween, Friday the 13th, obviously. You know what I mean? There's some, and of course you get to Star Trek and Star Wars and, I mean, Batman. There's some great looking professional films out there that are fan films. But certainly when you have fan film attached to it, unless it's a huge IP, like if I was to shoot a professional Batman fan film, I'd have no issues getting that thing to go viral. I mean, it would go viral in its sleep because of the IP, right? Friday the 13th, similar, right? Halloween, 100%. No issues. It would go viral in its sleep. Black Christmas is tougher because it's a cult film, and it's a film that still not a lot of Americans have even seen. And it's a film that not everybody likes, right? It's you either really like it and appreciate it, or you're like, it's kind of boring, not really my thing. You know, there's not really any in-betweens. I very rarely meet somebody that's like, yeah, it was okay. You know, it's usually, oh yeah, wow, holy shit, right? And meh, you know what I mean? And I get it. I totally understand that. So we've been behind the eight ball in a lot of regards. So we're behind the eight ball when it comes to doing a Black Christmas sequel fan film. And we're behind the eight ball because it's a fan film, and because fan films still again, not because there are not some great looking fan films out there are, but the vast majority of fan films or the fan film market, quote unquote, is saturated with just, you know, amateur home movie stuff. So it's tough to break through that mold. And I told this story yesterday on Two Dudes, but I remember when our teaser trailer dropped on Christmas Eve, and I remember reading one of the, I forget if it was on the Bloody Disgusting Twitter account or if it was on the Bloody Disgusting Facebook page, but there was a comment that said, it might have said a little more, but it said, "You lost me at fan film." And you know what? I wasn't upset. I wasn't mad. I wasn't disappointed. I get it, 100%, right? You lose most people when you see fan film, right? Especially when a major player like Bloody Disgusting is covering it. Some people are like, what are you doing, Bloody Disgusting? You're covering a fan film. What are you doing? It feels like it's almost beneath them, right? Because of the stereotype, naturally, of what a fan film usually is. And there's nothing wrong with that. And then there's somebody responded to them and said, no, you know, you should check it out. It looks great. It looks like total, like, you know, legit. And whether they did or not, I have no idea. But that's sort of the mold that we need to break through. And with Vincent DeSanti, who's raised the bar, of course, with Never Hike Alone, Never Hike in the Snow. Cecil's going to continue to do it. You know, we're passing the torch off to Cecil to, you know, do Dylan's New Nightmare. And you know, we're all in this together, you know, raising the bars as filmmakers, showing what we can do, playing with IPs that are popular or not popular, whatever it is, not for profit, obviously. Fan films are changing, what fan films can be. And again, it's not lost on us that naturally, if you work in the industry and you have access to resources and connections that the average person doesn't, obviously you can make a movie look like a movie as opposed to somebody else. But that title fan film is it lingers there, right? It lingers, you know, and you get people going, and I totally understand it. So that was one of the things that we're very aware of when we go into our marketing campaign. We need to, you know, this isn't just a fan film. You know, we want this to play out very cinematically. Doesn't mean everybody's going to like the movie. Doesn't mean that everybody's going to like the creative choices we made. No, I have no doubt. Just because when you release it to the world, that's what happens. I have no doubt that there will be people that will be like, you know, it's just the way it is, right? But we wanted to deliver something to the fans, especially to Black Christmas fans, that they can be proud of. You know, whether you agree with everything or not, we're hoping that it will at least resonate with fans. And we wanted to market it in a way that says, hey, this isn't just a fan film, this is a movie. So, I'm getting a phone call. Oh, it's probably asking for duct cleaning or something. You guys get all those spam duct cleaning? Fuck. It's ridiculous. You know what? I should answer this live right now. Hold on. Hello, yes?
Hi, calling you from the Legal Department of Service Canada.
Oh, stop your Legal Department of Service, please. Anyway, she ate that crap. Get that shit all the time. I'm sure you do. So anyway, so back to what I was saying. So the idea of trying to break through that mold is tricky. And once you break through it, though, then people recognize, oh shit, this is what you're going to bring, right? But that's a tough mold to break through. So anyway, so the point I'm making is that going back to the trailer, of course, we wanted everything we've done, every image we've shown, every behind the scenes we've shown, every trailer we've shown, from the teaser to the trailer, we wanted to present it as professionally as possible, because it's the only way that you can break through. And when you've hired the people that we've hired and we've shot on the equipment we've shot on, and that's what you want to do, right? I mean, you want to take advantage of that. That's why you do this. That's why we hired Greg, and that's why we hired, you know, everybody, and from Jacqueline to Dylan to Nikita to Naz to Stuart to Luke to Victoria to, you know, Malika and Shelby, everybody. I mean, you know, that's why we shot on the cameras we did, is so we could present it this way and give something that we can be proud of as filmmakers, but so the fans can as well. You know, it's for you guys. It's for us too, of course, but it's for you guys. It's for Black Christmas and horror fans. And so I just wanted to say that to kind of get you understanding where we are in sort of the headspace and the stereotypes and the sort of the psychological mental blocks from the average moviegoer when they hear fan film that we are trying to break through. So the feedback, and I think the trailer has nearly what is it up to now? I don't know. I don't have it up. Let me just see here. Let me bring it up. Just over 6,000 views. That's awesome. That's awesome. That is fantastic. Just over 6,000 views in 4 days. And that's great. And that's great. And that's in line of what you'd expect with something like Black Christmas. If this was Friday the 13th, it'd probably be up to like 150,000 views, right? Because that's what people care about. But that's really good. That's really good. And the more you can share it and spread the word, we would really appreciate it, because we want people to be excited about this. So, in terms of the trailer that we released, we wanted it we wanted to feel very Hollywood. That's what we wanted it to feel, right? And but still showcasing the vibe and the feel of the original film, but modernizing it. You know, we're not shooting it. It's not going to, in terms of its production value, you know, we're not shooting on film either. So, but in terms of its production value, it's not going to look like it's a 70s movie, but we wanted it to have that aesthetic. We wanted to have that vibe and that tone and that feel. And this was our opportunity with the official trailer to showcase that. But at the same time, we didn't want to show you too much because it is a short film. And we will be releasing the length of the movie very soon, okay? It might be longer than some of you might expect. We will be releasing that soon. But we wanted to showcase sort of the tone and the feel of what you can expect without showing you too much. Once you see the movie, you'll look back at the trailer and be like, oh, wow, they didn't show anything. You know what I mean? I mean, obviously we showed some things, but you'll realize even in its relatively short runtime, I say relatively because it's not a 5-minute movie, obviously. You'll look back at that and go, wow, they actually didn't really show that much. There's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of cool things that you haven't seen. And that was on purpose. That was a creative choice that we wanted to do. Now, we went back and forth on whether or not and when I say back and forth sort of like months ago. Like, we knew what the teaser trailer was going to be when we were writing the script. We knew what the trailer was going to be. Well, how the trailer was going to end, probably while we were shooting the movie. We had these ideas in our head. And we knew we wanted to show Billy. And yes, for those of you that are still, I think it's hilarious. I think it's really cool, actually, the amount of people that are asking and like, who's that in the chair? Is that Billy? Is that Agnes? Is that this person? Is that person? Is that this person? It's really funny. I don't mean, I'm not mocking. I'm just like, I thought it was obvious, but maybe not. I don't know. It's Billy. That's who it is. And that's not a spoiler. That's who you're supposed to, it's Billy. That's who's in the rock chair. That's not me as Billy. That's the actor who plays Billy, and his name will be released eventually. But it was really cool to see. Somebody thought it was a woman, I guess, because of the long hair, maybe, perhaps, people have asked why the long hair? And it's like, well, I mean, why not? I mean, you think it's like 45 years later. He doesn't give a fuck. He doesn't care. Who knows where he is? Who knows where he's been? Who knows what he's like? In here. In here. Remember, this is 45 to 50 years later. This isn't the same. I mean, it's the same Billy, but it's not like it's 1974 Billy when he was maybe, I don't know, 24, 25 or whatever. This is decades later. What sort of where is his brain? If his brain was, back then, where's his brain now? Do you know what I mean? You think Billy's going to shave? You think Billy's going to get his haircut at the local first choice haircutters? I mean, come on. Let's be honest here, right? So, yes, it's Billy. It's Billy. But we wanted to give something. Like, there's always that payoff. Right? You need to give something to the fans. So we set up the trailer as this build. So we give you tidbits of information. If you listen to Sam's dialogue at the beginning of the trailer, as we move into the dining room scene, and you pay attention to what she's saying, there's little bits of information there through exposition to what's going on. And we knew we wanted to build to Billy. We didn't want to show him right away. We wanted to build to him, which is what we did. But when we did show him, we wanted to show him from a distance, in shadow, you know what I mean? Just reap the benefits of that mood and atmosphere that Bruce and I put so much effort into creating in this film. So it feels like not just a horror movie or a Black Christmas movie, but it feels uncomfortable. It feels eerie and creepy and ominous, and then of course the phone calls, right there, boom, there he is. And you hear the phone calls and you see him in this rocking chair and he's awkward. He's not even rocking right. He's like sitting there kind of just, it's off. You know what I mean? And he's doing this. It's like, what the fuck? Who is this guy? Who is this guy now? Who is Billy now? Where's he been? What's been going on? Now, remember, and this is not a spoiler. I've said this many, many times. We treat the audience, it's important to understand that in this follow-up, we treat the audience like they're smart. So we're not spoon feeding you everything on a silver platter. It's like you are an observer, like you're the next, like you're the third or the fourth girl, right? Or something like that. And you're just kind of listening to what's going on and seeing the information and stuff. We do give you answers to what's been going on the last 40 something years, but we also create new questions. And that's what you want to do. That's the idea, right? You don't want to give everything away. You want to sort of drop little tidbits and allow your audience to go, oh, interesting. But what is that? Is that, but that's the idea. That's cool. That's fun. That's exciting to me as a viewer. I like that kind of stuff. I don't like being spoon-fed everything. I want information, makes me go, oh, okay. Oh, well, but then how, oh, you know what I'm saying? So we create new questions as well. And there's reasons for that. There's reasons why we do. But that's ultimately that was our thinking leading into the marketing campaign for this film. That's why the teaser is very cinematic in its presentation. That's why the official trailer is very cinematic in its presentation, and why we ended with Billy in the way that we did. I'm going to play a clip here. It's on my channel right now, but I think it's a perfect opportunity to play it as well because it coincides with what I've been talking about here. This is Bruce Dale, my brother from another mother, my co-director, co-writer, and co-producer on the project. Of course, you know him, you love him. This is him talking about the final shot in regards to the storyboards that he created. Bruce, take it away. Here he is.
Hey everybody, what's going on? It's Bruce here. Wanted to share with you some insight on some of the behind the scenes filming for It's Me, Billy. What I'm going to show you here is a piece of concept art that I put together in preparation for shooting that final shot of Billy in the attic. We've got this line drawing, and the line drawing was to sort of map out the composition, make sure that things were aligned properly within the shot, really looking at that, proportions, composition, really. And then this next image is the full color version. So again, with concept art, it's intended to show you the mood, the tone, the atmosphere. What are we wanting to convey on screen? And so did my best to capture the effects of the lighting and really create that mood that we wanted to have and that sense of the character, because you can see it really changes from just a line drawing into a full color image. And then as we look at the actual shot from the end of the trailer that we just released, you can see we followed through on that vision. We really stayed true to it. And I think, between Greg and Nikita and the rest of the crew, everybody did a fantastic job to construct that image and bring it to life in the way that Dave and I envisioned it to be. And we wanted it to have that menacing, dark tone, make you feel uncomfortable, uneasy, very creepy. Thank you to everybody with your positive feedback and support. And I just want to say, stay safe, take care of yourselves, take care of each other. And we're excited for May 28th. The film's going to drop. All right, peace. We'll talk to you guys soon.
There you have it. And I couldn't have said it any better. He said it, that was such an important scene and such an important shot. And there's more to that scene, of course. You're seeing a little bit of a tidbit from that scene in that moment. But we knew when we were shooting that, and we knew very, very early on that we wanted to use that as the final shot of the trailer, because you see Billy, but you don't see Billy. You hear Billy, obviously. You get a sense of what you can expect from the how we're going to handle the character. That was what was so important about ending the trailer on that note, was because the teaser trailer, which was just a teaser, we ended with the phone call. Victoria as Sam picking up the phone, and then of course you hear a bit of Billy, right? And that's where the teaser ends. Great ending to a teaser. But with the trailer, this is sort of the last big marketing thing probably before the movie. We might have something, we might have a little, maybe like a 30-second spot or something. I don't know. We're working on something. But in terms of like trailer, we're not going to release like another trailer, it's not like now here's the international trailer for It's Me, but no. It's nothing, obviously, right? So we knew that this was it, and you only have one time to make a, first impression. So we knew that, we got to show Billy, but we don't want to show Billy. We just want to show what you can expect on how we're handling the character of Billy, because that's still up to just a couple of days ago. That was up in the air. You can expect that we're going to handle him well. You put your trust in us by donating to the campaign and believing in us and sharing and tuning in to whenever we talk about it here on the channel, which is great, by the way. Thank you. But you don't know, right? Because you haven't really seen anything yet, So we wanted to show, that was really more about how we're handling it, right? We got to keep him in shadow because Billy is an enigma. There's a mystique around him, very similar to Myers, although they're two very different characters. But that's important, So that last shot, again, is very much about, boom, there you go. Listen to this. Look at this. Whoa. you know, and hopefully people go, whoa, you know, because I know when we were putting the trailer together, even we were like, whoa, you know, like, hey, this is pretty good, you know. So we were very proud of everybody and how that came together. And the actor, of course, playing Billy, who will remain nameless at the moment, tremendous. I mean, he just did a fantastic job. If you're watching, I mean, great stuff, and exactly what we needed. And so that's what that was about. Building that, giving you a little bit of exposition through the beginning of the trailer that makes you go, oh, wait a minute. Interesting. Okay. There's your first little bit of information to what's been going on, you know. Now you don't get a lot, right? But it makes you go, oh, interesting. And it gets the wheels turning. And then maybe you'll talk with your friends and be like, oh, what do you think? I don't know. And I like that kind of stuff. You know, it's really important. You know, you don't want to be ambiguous to a fault where nothing makes any sense. It's a line, right? You want to give enough, not too much, but what you do give answers some things, but it creates new questions, which is my favorite way of storytelling. Which is exciting to me. So that's, you know, and when it's done right and it's done well, it can be very, very effective, very effective. So that's what that was all about. And I'm very proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of our team. And again, thank you to you guys for being so complimentary of it. I mean, I'm sure there are people out there that didn't like it and thought it was crap. I have no doubt. But usually, if I release something that somebody doesn't like on this channel, they have no issues letting me know in the comments section. And I haven't seen anything. I don't know if the trolls are just angry that it looks good and they're like, God damn it, it actually looks good. There was a meme I posted on my Many Things Facebook page that a viewer sent to me. It's that kid, you know that picture of that kid that's like, he's sitting in a classroom and he's straining and you can see like his veins in his head, like he's fucking angry or whatever. And he's, you know what I mean? I forget the guy's name now. John? Not the kid, the guy that sent me the image. He sent me that with the title, the caption, MCRAE YouTube trolls watching how good the It's Me Billy trailer is or something. And I thought it was funny. I laughed because it's true. You know what? I really haven't heard from any of my trolls. Now I have no doubt that they will now because they, you know, I talked about them. So now they'll have to, you know, but it's always nice when you can prove the naysayers wrong. And we did that by raising $64,000 actually. We did that by raising, you put it to bed. I mean, I got the amount of messages that I got when we launched that campaign. You're not gonna fuck you. Pfft. Yep, we did it. And I say we like you out there in TV land, you did it. You helped to bring this alive. You helped to make this a reality. If it wasn't for you, we couldn't have done this. I mean, we couldn't have hired, you know, the crew and the cast and the catering and the insurance and the drone and it would have cost way too much money, you know, way too much out of pocket money. So you helped to make this a reality. You brought Billy back, you know, and that's this is for you. I mean, you gave us the opportunity and said, okay, go to town, and we wanted to deliver. And the response has been great. So thank you to everybody out there who has watched the trailer, continues to watch it. Please continue to share it and talk about it with your friends on forums and Facebook pages or groups or wherever. I don't know. There's probably a ton of pages I don't even know about that would be beneficial to the to sharing it there. And, you know, just let's get excited for May the 28th. But yeah, and like I said, there might be a little something else coming. I mean, maybe we'll release a clip or something leading up to you know how sometimes they do that, you know, I don't know, a little something, nothing major. You know me. I mean, you know me. I would never reveal anything that's, you know, spoilery per se. But we're very excited about it. And I think it's you know, it feels good. I really enjoyed the process. I really enjoyed making this film. I'm enjoying the post-production process. It's still in post-production. The edit is complete. It's currently going through color grading and color timing and color correction right now. And then once that's done, then we fine tune the audio. Bruce is coming over this Saturday. We're going to be working on the end credits this Saturday is what we'll be working on. And that's a lot. I mean, there's like, 600 of you folks that are going to be in the end credits. So it's a lot of names, but it's awesome. It's awesome. Like, I mean, it's amazing, like it's so cool. It's so cool. So, still a lot of work to do, but we are definitely at the tail end now. We're at the tail end, and it's exciting. And, and shout out to, our DP, Greg Bennett, who is, who shot the movie. It looks gorgeous. He did such an amazing job. He's working on the color right now. And, it's so amazing to be able to work with somebody who's got that level of experience. And, it was cool. I mean, it was a very cool experience, because all my other, not that I don't have an eye for it. I mean, all my other little fan type films, whatever, I shot myself, and, they look pretty good. But when you're working with somebody of his caliber and with his level of experience, and you don't have to worry it, you can just focus on the directing and working with Greg, and it's just amazing. And he's such a fun guy. He's got a dry sense of humor. You know what I mean? Like there was something, I forget what it was. We were shooting one of the girls in bed, and we were all set up, and there was something he was doing, and I said something, and he looked at me, and then he said something, but he was kidding, but he said it very deadpan. And I'm looking at him, and he's like, I'm just kidding. Like, it was something like that. He's such a great dude. He's such a great guy. So funny. But yeah, so that's where we're at. That's sort of, our thoughts on the trailer, why we chose to structure it the way we did. We wanted to give you some tidbits of information into the exposition. We wanted to give you a feeling and overall sort of a feel of the tone and style of the film through what you saw in the trailer. And then with its Billy at the end, we wanted to show you Billy, but not show you Billy. That end shot is, in terms of the visual, is more about how we're handling Billy, the character, because, that's important. How are you going to handle it? You know what I mean? And then we mix that in with how we're handling the phone calls of Billy as well. So really, really cool. Very excited for May the 28th. Nervous, of course. I am a bit nervous about May the 28th, because once you release it to the world, it's like, it's out there. That's it. You just let the chips fall where they may. But that's the business. That's the business. You don't want to, if you can't take it, you got to get out, right? So, but we're excited. We are excited. Let's go over to the chat room and see what you guys are saying. And let me see. I think a couple of super chats came in. There, did it again. Okay. YouTube, you're not watching, but you need to get your, in the YouTube studio part, your super chats keep disappearing. And I don't know why. So that makes on the actual live stream. So now I got to go over to, just give me a second, folks. I got to go over to the actual studio now and go to monetization, go to the super chats. Unreal. How many came in? 3. Okay, so here they are. Intel Wild, my man, Intel Wild sends in a very generous super chat of $25. Thank you, Intel. You're amazing. Dave, the trailer looks and sounds fantastic. You, Bruce, and the entire team have exceeded my expectations. Very cool. Well, that's always good. I thought it would be good, but it's great. But I'm going to say it. In my opinion, showing Billy at the end was a ballsy move, my man. Well, that's funny you say that. I haven't even read your super chat there. Yeah, and you know what? That's actually a great thing to bring up. It's too bad I didn't read that before, and then that was a catalyst for my explanation. I swear to God, I didn't read that. But that is why. But you're right. It was a decision that it's like, well, but this is the trailer. I mean, if we had shown that image like from the set of It's Me, Billy, while we're shooting, whoa, like, hang on a sec here. Like, you're not even done the movie yet, right? If we had shown that image as the first image released, some people would be like, oh, I get it, that's amazing. But I'm like, but it's the trailer. Like, this is it. This is it. This is the trailer, right? And we felt that we got to show something. I would want to see something. It's not that we see Billy. It's how we see Billy, right? How are the filmmakers, how are we handling the character? we could have shown his face. It could have opened up at the end and seen him in the rocking chair and, brightly lit with a light, or that light that's there on his face and him there go on, it could have been that, right? It could have been. We don't have that. We didn't shoot that. But I'm saying it could have been that, right? The ending shot could have been, who the hell is this? And then you open up and there's Billy's face going, I mean, we could have done that. We didn't. That shot actually does not exist anywhere. So it really is about how are we handling it? And we're showing him for the first time. This is the first time he's been seen. This is the first time he's been seen in 47 years. Connected to the OG. Connected to the OG. This is the first time you're seeing him in 47 years. So, but you're not really seeing him, are you? And it's like, oh, whoa, what is this? You know what I mean? So, but I'm with you, man. I'm with you. Thank you for the super chat, Intel. You are amazing, but you know that. $4.99 comes in from Rick W. Thank you, Rick. Says the trailer literally did everything a good trailer should do, and expertly. Was that the end? It looks like there might have been more. Anyway, thank you, Rick. Really appreciate it, and glad you enjoyed it. That was the idea, right? We wanted to present something that was very cinematic, very quote unquote Hollywood, if you will, because it's the only way that you're going to get people's attention, because it's a fan film. You know what I mean? But like I've always said, and I preach, and I do that because I want people to understand, again, yes, it's a fan film. It is, but it's a professionally shot movie. We would have done the same thing, hired the same people if it was an original idea. So it just so happens to be a fan film. But we're going through all the steps that we would go through to shoot any movie. You know what I mean? So in that sense, it's a movie. But we wanted to present a very, again, not like overly Hollywood, but polished. Polished, I think is the right term that I would use. We wanted to present something polished and professional that people can look at and go, oh, okay, wasn't expecting this. And that was intentional because we know the 8 Ball we're behind, right? First of all, it's Black Christmas. Who gives a fuck about that? I mean, we do as horror fans, but even a lot of horror fans don't, right? So we're behind that 8 Ball and we're behind the fan film 8 Ball, which every fan film is behind until you break the mold. Like, I mean, the fact that Vince was able to raise over $100,000 for Never Hike in the Snow, and I think he's putting some of that towards the next installment as well or something. But the fact that he was able to do that was because of what he did with Never Hike Alone, right? He wouldn't have raised over $100,000 if that was for Never Hike Alone. He wouldn't have done that. He couldn't have done that because everyone's like, what? But they saw Never Hike Alone. They're like, oh, okay, so this is what we're talking about. You know what I mean? So you have to break through that mold, and it's not easy to do. It's very tough. But there are, we know the creative, we know how we have to present ourselves. We have a very, I'm not gonna say strategic, but the marketing is deliberate in the ways that we, market it. But again, it's a team effort, man. It's not just me, it's everybody. And yeah. It's so cool. And I am truly, and I mean this sincerely, I really do mean this. It's humbling. I mean, yeah, it's humbling that you guys support it in the way that you do, came out, donated, I can't thank you guys enough. It's really, it's amazing. Awesome 50 sends in £5 and says, huge congrats on the trailer, Dave. Thank you. Looks so beautiful and I'm so excited for the finished result. Please say there will be a making of on the Blu-ray. Okay, there will be a making of on the Blu-ray. Yes, there will. Bruce is working on the making of, actually. And I think he's going to show me some of it this weekend. And by the way, folks, all the perks and everything are being assembled. We haven't forgotten about you. We have not forgot about you, but as I'm sure you can imagine, we got to get the movie done first. I mean, there can't be a Blu-ray without the movie done. You know what I mean? So once the movie is done and it's out there, and then we turn our focus then to, okay, let's tackle all this. Let's get this. Let's do this. Let's do this. You know what I mean? So we appreciate your patience on that. Have not forgotten about you. But it's a lot of work. I mean, if we had a huge team, like of, 50 people, then then I could get up, but we're doing everything. I mean, we're editing the movie, sound designing the film, doing the perks, we only have so many hands, right? So, but hey, have not forgotten about you guys. It is coming. Yes. But yes, there will be a, making of on the Blu-ray. Yes, there will be. It's going to be good. Give you some great insights into the behind the scenes stuff. All right, let's see here. I don't want to make sure I miss anything else. That was awesome. 50. And then we scroll down to Gary Wrangle. Hey, Gary. Dave, thanks for getting me into Black Christmas. You're welcome. So excited for It's Me, Billy. That trailer blew me away. Going to celebrate by watching the original. Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, you know what? It's so cool. There are a lot of people that have reached out to me that have said they're going to watch the original and then watch It's Me, Billy. And I'm like, that's so cool. And Tony last night said something that was really cool too. He said, you know what? He said, as far as I'm concerned, now, I mean, maybe he'll change his tune when he sees the movie. I don't know. No, but he said, as far as I'm concerned, this is the sequel to Black Christmas. And I'm like, that's really cool. And it is cool. Like, I gotta say, and I know I've said this before, but we're talking about it here today on the show, so it bears repeating. There were a few times, and I can't speak for the rest of the crew because they're working all the time. I mean, I'm pretty sure most of the crew has gone off and shot like 2 or 3 other films since, It's Me, Billy, right? But for me, and I know for Bruce too, especially, and it's primarily because we've been working on it from inception, right? Like we built it from the ground up, whereas the crew tends to come on later, right? So, although I'd have to ask Jacqueline. Jacqueline's our first AC, our focus puller. I'd have to ask her because she's a gigantic Black Christmas fan. It's one of her favorite horror movies of all time. I'd have to ask her if she felt this way a bit, but who knows? Maybe not. But anyway, for myself, I can tell you, and I know for Bruce too, because of the process that we went through, we tackled this movie, like as I said, like any other movie we would tackle at this level. Right? At a $60,000 indie shoot, right? Professional indie shoot. We tackled it like from inception, from development to completion. There's nothing amateur about this. So because of that, it's funny you say that because of that, it's funny that Tony said that and you as well, and a few people who have, there were many moments where on set, looking at everybody, looking at what we're working with and what we're dealing with, the equipment we have and everything, and the expectations, right? And the buzz, and being picked up by all sorts of, online outlets and stuff. Even though it's not, it feels like we've shot the sequel to Black Christmas. I mean, we have, for all intents and purposes, although it's not official and it's not going to be in the theater and it's not going to go to streaming and all that kind of stuff, obviously, but I would be lying if I said while on set, looking at everybody and, the scale of what we're shooting, and I'd be lying if I said, it kind of feels like we're shooting the actual sequel. Like there were many times where it felt that way, which was really a strange, surreal feeling. It was a very strange, I can only imagine what that must be like for filmmakers that do get that opportunity to shoot a Star Wars movie or something, and then all of a sudden Harrison Ford walks onto set and you're like, what the fuck is going on here? What the hell is, that's of course a whole other level, but the principle's the same, right? Where you're on set and you're like, I'm shooting a fucking Star Wars movie. Like, and it's a real Star Wars, like it's canon, you know what I mean? Like there's gotta be moments where they're like, is that fucking Harrison Ford over there? This is fucking crazy. I'm directing Harrison Ford and Han Solo. And you hear about stories like that, right? Same kind of thing. I mean, again, on a much smaller scale, of course, but the principle's the same, where it's kind of like, this kind of feels like we're actually doing this because we took it so seriously and went and did it, professionally. You know what I mean? It feels weird. It feels, but in a really good way. So that's really cool. Like if people actually do end up, even though it's not canon, if people actually do end up just considering it canon, that's really cool. That'll be like, I don't even know how I'll handle that. I'll be like, that's, it's okay. That's awesome. You know what I mean? I don't know. But hey, you let the chips fall where they may. Harry Hagen, my man, Harry Hagen, sends in a $10 super chat and says, nothing bad by this. The last shot of Billy gave me vibes of Black Christmas 2006. I was wondering why I saw Black Christmas. I was wondering why. So I saw Black Christmas again. It's because Agnes and your Billy have similar looks with long hair and PJs, etc. Well, I can tell you that our actor Billy is not in PJs. I can tell you that. And you're right. In the 2006 Black Christmas, Agnes has that long hair. You're absolutely right. Billy doesn't, but Agnes does. But again, it's about the creative choices, right? The reason why we have our Billy with long hair is not because of Black Christmas 2006, and we're paying homage to that in some sort of weird way. No, not at all. Because we're thinking about the story. We're thinking about the creative decisions in terms of the story. Where is Billy today, right? Where is he? What kind of a person would he be? Has he gone off to kill and he's just never been caught? Were his last murders in 1974 and things have just been building up inside of him? You know what I mean? Waiting to explode. I mean, what kind of character is he, right? You think about these kinds of things as writers, even when some of that information doesn't make it to the screen or isn't readily available to the audience, you as a writer need to know this so you design the character appropriately. And sometimes those things that you're thinking do become readily available as knowledge to the viewer, and sometimes it doesn't. But that's how you build a three-dimensional character. And for us, we knew that Billy it's 47 years later. You think, like, as I said, you think he's shaving and getting a haircut? Not to us. There is a substantial, continuous downfall he was insane 40 something years ago. Where is he now? He's unkept. He's disgruntled, and he's, I don't even know if disgruntled is the right word. He's just, you think he was crazy, 47 years ago. Well, you know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? So that's where we thought of it, right? And for us, it's not people might make that comparison, and I can understand why they would right now. But when you watch the movie, though, there really is no comparison, right? But that's why. That's why he has long hair, is because he's unkept. He doesn't give a fuck. It's 47 years. What kind of guy is he now? You think he was crazy then? I don't know, man. I don't know. But I know what you're saying, though. Frank Riker sends a super chat. Frank, my man, says, Dave, trailer was sick, but how come you didn't use Here We Go from Kong vs. Godzilla as your theme music? Well, Frank, it was an option. We were going to use it. It was on the table. We thought about using it. We didn't. There was a cut, though. There was a cut. We had one the one that you saw, where we cut into Billy in the distance in the chair. And then we had one where we cut in and Billy is dancing naked in the background with a broom, watching television. And we decided maybe we shouldn't have that one. No, we didn't have that. Can you imagine, though? Oh, Frank, I'm going to reach out to you, if I remember, to reach out to you after the show in regards to date for getting you on Two Dudes. Let me see. I think I got all the super chats so far. I did. Robert Thidoff, my man Robert, says, Dave, is it imperative that if Port Robinson Road is ever greenlit? Port Robinson Road, by the way, is a feature film that I've been working on for years and years and years and years and years. It's in development hell, really, based on a true story from my second year of college. It's like a paranormal kind of thing. Anyway, for those of you that may not know, is it imperative that if Port Robinson Road is ever greenlit, that it takes place in the time period that events actually occurred? That's a great question. Because now, now it's becoming sort of a period piece. I would say no. I would be open to exploring the idea of setting it in the year 2000 or 99 or whatever it was, 2000, I think. But it's not imperative. No, it's not reliant on that. It's no. and it might be more cost effective to just set it in modern day. But great question, though. Great question. Great question. Let me see here. Colin McCormick says, I plan on doing the same thing with watching the OG and then this. Saw the 2019 remake, which was complete, utter garbage. Yeah, a lot of people say that. So I'm kind of off about watching it all together, but I will. Trailer looks good. Well, thank you, Colin. Appreciate that very much. I'm glad people are enjoying. And again, it doesn't mean people are going to like the movie, but hopefully people will appreciate it. And you let the chips fall where they may. Like I said, it's a film definitely for the fans, and for that style of horror, that slow burn, psychological, we're paying homage to that. It's a sequel to that movie. It's not a sequel to the '06 movie, which was more, gorier and weird and in your face and violent and gratuitous. And you know what I mean? If that's what you're expecting, well, you're going to be disappointed, because that's not, we want to bring that thematic style, that continuity in terms of that thematic style over from the original. So it feels like you're watching a follow-up. You know what I mean? So, and hopefully people will like it. And then if people don't like it, well, they don't like it. Okay, that's fine. But hopefully people will. Aaron Click says, Dave, I like the fact that it's evident you and Bruce thought the impact of the events in Black Christmas on the characters involved. It seems well thought out and logical. Yeah. Again, it's a short film, right? So there's only so much you can pack into a relatively short runtime. So you want to kind of get to the basics. You want to get some information out there that brings the audience up to speed, but also doesn't lay everything out. You don't want to, as if you're turning to the audience and going, oh, by the way, in case you didn't know, right? There's that show, don't tell thing when it comes to movies. And when it comes to exposition, especially, the exposition has to feel very organic. It can't feel shoehorned in. It can't feel like the audience, the characters are turning to the audience and saying, in case you didn't get it, here, you don't want that, right? So it's got to feel organic, and that happens through giving the character agency and giving all the characters agency and reasons for having these conversations or being there, or you know what I mean? So it really feels natural and organic, and that's a tough thing to do. Again, especially in a short runtime, in a short film, because you don't end up, low budget, right? You don't have a lot of time to necessarily be showing a lot of the things that you would want to show. So it's a thing that definitely feels, it's got to feel organic, and it's a fine line that you walk, but that's important. We want to bring people up to speed, give them information on, ideas of maybe kind of where we are now, but again, not spoon feeding everything. If you come from a generation where you want the cat out of the bag, I'm sorry to say the cat ain't going to be out of the bag. But we're going to give you enough that's going to make you go, oh, interesting, and keep those wheels turning. That's the idea, right? I love that, because we treat the audience maturely. One of the things that I just hit my hand on my desk. One of the things that I really love about what Bob Clark did with the original movie, and he said this time and time again, if you watch any of the behind the scenes, if you watch that movie, it's again, I get it, it's dated. It's a dated movie. Absolutely, it is. But when you watch it, the characters are not those archetypal characters. Like you don't have, a little bit. Like you could point to Margot Kidder's character and be like, well, I guess she's kind of the ditzy one, if you had to point to certain things, right? But at the end of the day, there really isn't that strong archetypal kind of stereotype there. He's the jock, she's the bimbo, she's the ditz, you know what I mean? It's not so apparent. They're not caricatures of themselves. It's not cartoony like you see in a lot of modern day slasher movies or the 80s or, whatever it was. You don't really see that. Bob Clark took it seriously. And again, his line was, I wanted these college kids to have agency, to have, maturity to them, because not all, I don't want them to be caricatures of themselves, like stereotypes. Not all college age kids talk like that or sound like that, or, they're real people. I wanted them to feel like real people. And that's why Black Christmas has a maturity to it. He treated the audience watching the movie maturely. He didn't, he felt like the audience doesn't need to know this. The audience doesn't need to know that. It's more effective if they don't. It's more effective if you don't know who he is, or you don't know this, whatever the case is. So that's important, to push that. But having said that as well, it's also important to remember that It's Me, Billy is a sequel. So we do push the narrative forward. We don't just do the same thing over again. We push yes, we're paying homage and you get the phone calls and all that. Of course, obviously. But we're pushing the narrative forward. It's not like by the end of the movie, you'll just feel like you watched, Black Christmas Redux. I mean, you should at the very least feel like, whether you like the direction we go, who knows? I mean, that's just the reality of releasing your film to the world. But we're pushing it forward, right? And that's the idea, is to keep the narrative moving forward, right? But these girls were great. And I think you'll soon discover when you're watching It's Me, Billy, that, yeah, there's a maturity here. Like, these girls don't feel like, it's not like, Shelby's the bimbo and Justine's the slut. And it's not like, you don't get, these are real girls with agency and maturity, and they, and that's on purpose, so it's very in line with that. At least we believe it is. And hopefully the audience will too, that you'll watch it and you'll be like, yeah, I get it. I get what, it doesn't feel like I'm watching an 80s slasher cheesy B movie. You know what I mean? At least that's what we're hoping for. That's what we're hoping for. Let me see. What do we got going on here? Justin Simonson says, Dave McCrae, if Halloween 4 got a sequel, would hockey pads be necessary? Probably not. I mean, well, no, because you wouldn't be hiring, you would just hire somebody else who didn't have to wear hockey pads. We didn't have to wear hockey pads. Where Nomad has gone before. I like that. Hi, Dave. I messaged Bruce on Facebook. Okay. But I want to compliment you as well. That shot of Billy reminded me of the angle and shadow shot like in Night of the Hunter. Night of the Hunter. What is Night of the Hunter? I don't know if I know this movie. Night of the Hunter. 1955? We talking about 1955? Ooh. This looks very film noir. I'm always looking for black and white movies I haven't seen. What is this about? My girlfriend and I usually watch a couple of black and white movies on our birthdays, because her birthday's 8 days before mine, so we tend to celebrate together. And we usually watch some old black and white movies, ones we haven't seen that pique our interest. A religious fanatic marries a gullible widow whose young children are reluctant to tell him where their real daddy hid the $10,000 he's stolen in a robbery. 10,000. God, back then that would have been like, 5 million. Interesting. Okay, well, I not familiar with it. I don't know if I've ever heard of it. Is that the one? But if that's the one you're talking about, Darren Sand says, great movie. Very cool. Yeah, I haven't. Is that the one? I haven't. Or is that not the one? Maybe that's not the one. Because people are saying Robert Mitchum. Okay, yes it is. Yep. Shelley Winters, Robert Mitchum. Yeah, I have not seen it, so I will have to see it. But that's really cool. It looks very film noir, and I like that. Very cool that you got that impression. That's very cool, my man. Thank you for saying that. Colin Altman says, "Hey Dave, if It's Me, Billy gets a lot of views, will there be a sequel? I cannot confirm nor deny whether there will be a sequel. That's not me saying there will be a sequel. It's not me saying there won't be a sequel. I just at this very moment cannot confirm nor deny, but cannot confirm either. We'll talk more once the movie is released. And that is me not confirming or denying or confirming. I mean that in the literal sense of, CM sends in a $4.99 super chat and says, Dave, since Lynn Griffin contributed a perk for the campaign, have you considered having her on the live Zoom stream before the film drops on YouTube? I have considered it, yes. And it's just about coordinating schedules. It's all about getting schedules coordinated, which is the tough thing to do. I have, yes, but again, at the moment, our first priority is getting the film completed and being able to schedule the time for that. So, but yes, it is something we've talked about, but it all lines up with whether or not we'll be able to do that. And we also want to make sure that the Zoom call is practical. I mean, we're already going to have like over 30 people on the call. So, I mean, we got to make sure that it's practical as well. And we've never done this before. So we'll see how it goes. But yes, thank you thank you for your super chat. Appreciate it. Barry Kickass says, I've heard of the movie, but never seen it, but Mitchum was a badass. He was. Oh yeah. Robert Mitchum. Yeah. Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I have to check that out. Let me see. I don't think I missed any other super chats. Oh wait, Jurassic Production sends in a super chat. Thank you, buddy. Says, hashtag release here we go cut. Hashtag restore the Billyverse. I love it. Yeah. Oh my goodness. These people in there, I don't get it. But I'm going to be watching Godzilla vs. Kong this afternoon. I got a screener from Warner Brothers yesterday. Shout out to the individual who hooked me up. You know who you are, obviously. I don't know if they want their name said. I don't know. So that's why they probably don't care, but I don't know. But appreciate that very much. I'm looking forward to watching it this afternoon. And depending on what happens on Thursday, maybe I'll make that show about my thoughts of King Kong or of Godzilla vs. Kong. I'm looking forward to it, though. Looking forward to it. Jeff Harris sends in a $4.99 super chat and says, looking forward to the film, Dave. Thank you. The cinematography looks really great. Also restore the John Beck. The John Beck verse. That's right. We got to get the John Beck verse from King Kong versus Godzilla from 1962 back into action. That's what we need to do. Restore the John Beck verse. That's hilarious. That's what we talked about yesterday. Yeah, well, I mean, shout out to Greg Bennett. I mean, he was our DP, and Greg's a pro. I mean, he works in the film industry. He's, like I said, he's a 2-time CSC award nominee, which is the Canadian Society of Cinematographers. He's been doing this for 20 something years, 25, I don't know, a long time. He's been doing this a long time, and maybe even nearly 30 years. And he's great. Like, he shot everything from short films to feature films to music videos to commercials to, I mean, he shot on everything from, your phone to the Airy to the Red to, I mean, he's amazing. And he really captured the essence of what we wanted. He's so great to work with too. And he had great ideas. Like, there were a couple times when we wanted to shoot something a certain way, and Greg was like, well, I think maybe we should shoot it this way instead. I think it's going to work better. And we were like, yeah, you know what? That's better. That is better. Let's do it. So he's great. Like, and I mean, that's him, man. I mean, obviously it's under our direction, of course, but as a director of photography, I mean, he brings his expertise, and then him working with Nikita, who was our gaffer, and his team, of course, was, I mean, they built the look of that movie. They took our vision and made it a reality. So, yeah, amazing. Diehard Drummer 84 says, Dave, what are your thoughts on Bad Boys for Life if you've ever seen it? I haven't seen it. The first Bad Boys I've seen. I don't even know if I've seen the second one. I haven't seen Bad Boys for Life, though. I haven't seen Bad Boys for Life. I've not. Evil Alex says, is that Billy's actor's real long hair? And who makes the soundtrack? And what genre would you love to direct Harrison Ford? Okay. First, yes, that is the actor's hair, his real hair. And who makes the soundtrack? You mean who designed the sound for the trailer? That was us. We designed the sound for the trailer. I have a sound effects library of over 5,000 sound effects. And this is stuff I've accumulated over the years. And there's also websites as well, whether it's Pond 5, whether it's Audio Jungle, whether it's, whatever, that, like say I'm like, you know what? I got a crunching sound effect, but it's not the right crunching sound effect, right? Like it's, and I need more of a, and I have like 10 crunching sound effects, but I don't have the right, I don't have the right sound, right? The right crunch, you know what I mean? Then I would go and search for it and buy it. So I have the license to use it. And I would either purchase it from Pond 5 or Audio Jungle or whatever the case is. And then once you buy it, and sound effects are usually fairly cheap. I mean, if it's a sound effect that lasts 6 seconds or something, you usually can buy that for a couple of bucks. And then you just buy it with a standard license and it will allow you to use it for the purposes that you need to use it for. But we designed all the sound. Yeah. And then, but how the sound is mixed and mastered and how it's layered against all the other sounds and all that kind of stuff. And that's me. I'm doing all of the sound and I'm perfectly comfortable in doing it. I mean, I'm self-taught, but I've been doing it professionally for 20 years. I mean, I've been doing it since Adobe Audition was Cool Edit Pro. OGs will remember that. Adobe Audition used to be called Cool Edit Pro. Adobe Audition is the software I use it's the software I use to record all of my voiceovers. So naturally, it's the software I'm most comfortable with. There's no learning curve I have to go through. So I just design all the sound in Adobe Audition. But I've been doing that since it was Cool Edit Pro like 20 years ago. So I'm very comfortable in mixing and mastering sound. It's what I do. So all the sound that you hear in the trailer, all the sound you'll hear in the movie was designed by moi. Approved by myself and Bruce, of course, but designed by moi. Let me see. Troy Grubb. I love that name. Awesome, Dave. I hope you enjoy Godzilla vs. Kong. Team Godzilla. Love you, Dave. Buddy, you are awesome. Well, thank you so much, Troy. Really appreciate you saying that. I hope I do too. My girlfriend and I are going to watch it this afternoon. It's going to be great. And I'm excited to see it. Tony already saw it. He said he thinks I'm going to like it. So I think I will. We'll see. I'm a big Godzilla fan, so we'll see how it goes down. And I was going to watch it last night because I got the screener actually last night, but I'm waited till today so I could watch it with my significant other. And I have to watch it this afternoon because it expires later tonight. So, because they send you a link. What it happens is that they send you a link to watch it with an access code, and then you put in that, but you only have like 24 hours to watch it. So, yes. So I think it expires tonight at like 10 or something like that. Barry Kickass says, Dave, the Price is Right music make an appearance. Oh, I got that here somewhere. Where are we here? Here we go. Let's hope not. Let's hope the Price is Right fail music makes, unless you were talking about the opening theme. I don't know. Duke Fleed says, Dave, just say yes or no, please. Are we going to get a surprise as far as the actors of It's Me, Billy go? I mean, someone famous showing up. I'm not... Just say yes or no. I can't say yes or no to that. And that's not me saying there is, and it's not me saying there isn't. It's me saying that I can't say yes or no to it because it will either set expectations or diminish expectations. So I can't say yes or no to that. No, I can't. I can't do that, Duke Fleed. I cannot do that. You have to watch it on its own merits. Aaron Click says, Dave, did Greg literally say those things because I wouldn't have thought maybe he's impersonating Billy? Oh, I see what you're saying. I get it. No, that's me masking and hiding what Greg was actually saying so I don't give any spoilers away to what we actually were talking about with a certain scene. That's me doing that. That's fun. That's funny. It's funny. It's pretty funny. Dalton B says, Dave, I love the trailer, man. Not gonna lie though, when I seen Billy in the rocking chair, it threw me for a loop. Maybe because I'm only used to seeing Billy's face, but it grew on me. Great job. Yeah, well, like I said, I mean, I think it's, we're pushing the narrative forward, right? You don't want to just tell, it's a fan film, but it's not we're not remaking Black Christmas. That's already been done, and been done very well. And there's no, we are pushing the narrative forward, but it's about preserving the integrity of the character. How do we push things forward so you feel like you're watching the next installment, but we're not, shitting on anything either. We're preserving the integrity of the character. That's what we're doing. But we have to push it forward. We have to do that. It's not that you push it forward, it's how you push it forward and whether or not how you handle the character of Billy. And that's what it's about. You know what I mean? I think people, listen, you guys know me. If I was separated from this and watching this, I would be like, I'd be like, I like this, because I understand that, well, you gotta push it forward, because if you're not pushing the narrative forward, if you're not pushing the stakes forward, if you're not pushing what the character is or the evolution of the character, that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about the evolution of the character, right? If you're not pushing the evolution of the character forward, what are you doing? You're just doing the same thing over again. The problem is that when canon sequels, push the narrative forward, they tend to go too far. They tend to push it too forward, right? And they show you too much, and they get rid of all nuance and all subtleties, and that's the problem. It's not that you show Billy a little more, or it's how you show it, or show him, under what context, in what situation, how is he lit, right? What's going on? What's happening, right? That's what it's really about. And for me, that's what it is. But I can understand, though, not expecting that. Whoa, wasn't expecting this. And we knew that. We knew that some people weren't going to expect that, But we feel, at the very least, that we did justice to the character. We feel, if you feel differently, that's okay. But as the creators of the content, we feel we did justice to preserving the integrity of the character. We wouldn't have released that if we didn't. So. Let me see here. Geeked Out Turtles Fan 40 says, Dave, love the trailer. The ending of it made me wet myself a little. Well, geez, I hope you had a change of underwear. Scary as hell. And would you play John Beck in a biography? You could explain why there wasn't an extended cut of King Kong. Yes. I'm down. I'm down to play John Beck in a biography. It'd be so funny. That'd be so funny. Aaron Click follows up and says, Dave, is the character Billy going to be on an audio commentary track on the Blu-ray? Probably not. It all depends what happens with COVID. It depends if we can get people together to do this. We all live, we don't all live in Toronto. So, we live in we're not too far, we're not all that far away. Not like thousands of miles away. But I just mean that it's difficult to get people together, right? And so, ideally, that'd be amazing to get the whole cast and Billy and Greg and me, but that's also 7 or 8 microphones. I have 2 or 3 mics here. I don't know. It all depends. You're definitely going to get a director's commentary, and you're going to get it from myself and Bruce. 100%. You'll definitely get that. Whether it'll be anybody beyond that, I don't know. I'm not sure. It all depends whether we can get people together to do it. But at the very least, you'll get myself and Bruce going through the film in a director's commentary. Yeah, for sure. I'll talk. For sure. At least that's the plan anyway. Let me see. What else we got going on? Good Real Hunting says, if you were given unlimited funds to create or recreate any movie you want, what would you create or recreate? Port Robinson Road, my movie that's been in development hell for decades. I would want to create that movie 100%. Outside of that, like maybe a property that's that's a classic. I would actually like to get my hands on a classic like Jaws. Jaws doesn't need to be remade, but I think I could do it justice because I understand what made the original so good. Now, if there was studio meddling involved, I mean, I'm fucking toast. But if I was actually able to have creative control, I think I could deliver a Jaws remake that I think could blow people away because I understand the nuance of, again, I mean, in my opinion, because I don't trust anybody. I'm scared of people doing a Jaws remake because it's going to be CGI shark and the shark's going to move too fast and it's going to look fake, and it's going to be, blood everywhere and, a kill every 5 seconds. Like, that's what's going to happen, and I mean, maybe not, but I don't know. But like something like Jaws or, like some classic that I understand, you know what I mean? But original movie would definitely be my Port Robinson Road. 100%. Great question. Darren, Godzilla versus Billy. Well, maybe. I mean, there may be Godzilla versus Billy. I think that's not a bad idea. That's not a bad, it's a spin-off. It's a spin-off film. Stupid hoodie is always got the, it's like there's a meme right there, or a GIF. I think my cat is meowing. Yeah, there you are, Veda. Come on in. We're live. You want to come up? You want to come up and say hello? Come on up. We're live. You want to come up? Yeah, that's right. Veda, you're so cute. I'm calling the cute police. Trevor Bristow. Dave, as you may know, I'm mad excited for It's Me, Billy. But is it the sequel of the 74 classic? Well, there is no sequel to the I don't know if you're just being funny or not, but there is no sequel to the original 1974 film. The 2006 movie was a remake, so it was not a sequel. But yes, this is a direct sequel to the original movie from 1974. There is no 2006 movie. There is no 2019 movie. That's right, Veda. You tell them. That's right. Well, come on up here. Come on up. Here, come here. Oh, yay. There she is. There's Veda. Say hello, Veda. Say hello. Come on. No, you don't want to say hello? There she is. Aw, look at Veda. Say hello. What's your favorite movie? Oh, really? What's your favorite horror film? Halloween. Really? Do you like Black Christmas? Yeah, you do. Oh, I love Black Christmas. Are you a big fan? Well, you're a Halloween cat, so naturally, your favorite horror movie would be Halloween 2, right? I mean, Halloween as well, not Halloween 2. All right, you look uncomfortable. All right, down you go. Thanks for coming to say hi, Veda. Thanks for coming to say hi. My precious pride and joy right there. I know, but I'm doing the show. Veda. So cute. That's right. Frank's like, yeah, Veda's yelling, hurry up, you goddamn son of a bitch. Let me see here. Intel Wild, my man Intel, going hard into the paint. Thank you, Intel. Really appreciate that. Says, I'm working day, but one more thing. The soundtrack is terrific. I have gone back and listened to the behind the scenes part 5 or 6, and it's creepy, dark, and really sets the mood. Parts 5 or 6. Oh, it's Me, Billy behind the scenes 5 or 6. Have we released 5 or 6 behind the scenes video? Yeah, maybe we have. Yeah. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I think everybody will like the soundtrack to the film. Again, it's soundscapey, right? Like, I mean, it's not like there's a theme, or a score, or something like that. It's all about mood and atmosphere and tension. And it's very much in line. We're taking it to the next level, of course, but it's very much in line of what you expect in the or what you got in the original film. So, you know, you can expect that kind of stuff. But I think people will like it. I think people will like it because I intentionally, you know, looked for effects and you know, layered things and designed things and EQ'd things and built, I mean, well, let's put it this way. There's over 1,000 sounds and sound effects in the film. Over 1,000. When I go to my sound effects folder and look at the number at the bottom of how much is in there, it's like 1,011 or something like that. And that's, I mean, that's everything from, you know, doors opening and closing and, you know, wine glasses and clanking and this and stairs and steps and creaks and cranks and crunches and, you know, I mean, you're building the layers of the film. And then of course I also use some of the stuff that our boom operator and sound recordist, Adrian Ancona, shout out, some of the stuff that he got while on set as well, some Foley that he was able to get, but I'm mixing and matching and all that kind of stuff. So it's intense. It's intense, but I love it. And I think it's going to sound good. So thank you for saying that, Intel. Thank you, buddy. Really appreciate that very much. Yeah. Veda. Frank Reiger says, we need the Veda. You hear that, Veda? They want the Veda cut. They want the It's Me, Billy Veda cut. That's what they want. Well, maybe you'll get it. I'll talk to Veda and see if she's down for it. You never know. She might be down for it. Kimberly Gaw? Am I saying that right? Gaw? How do you say that? Is the Kimberly, though. Hello. Welcome, Kimberly. Says, I hope we see someone washing out their mouth with alcohol, and it's me. I get what you're saying. No, I can say that, no, there isn't anything like that in the movie. We play it pretty straight, but I love Mrs. Mack. I love Mrs. Mack. She's great. Shout out to Mrs. Mack. I think she's dead now, actually. She's been dead for many, many years. Michael Myers says, Dave, have you seen the new Saw trailer? If so, what are your thoughts? I have. I talked about it at the beginning of the show here today. I have seen it. I thought it was, you know, I thought it was okay. I didn't hate it. I didn't dislike it. I just thought it was okay. It didn't blow me away. It just kind of looked like a repack. Like, if you had told me this was Saw, what are they up to, 10 or something? I don't know. I'd be like, okay. It doesn't, I don't know. I thought it was okay. Like, I'm not going to go to the theater to see it, but I will, once it ends up on streaming, Netflix, wherever, yeah, I'll watch it, you know. But I didn't think it looked great. I got to admit, I didn't think it looked great. The movie could be fucking amazing. Who knows, right? The trailer was just kind of like, okay, you know, kind of what I expected. I don't know. I don't know. Did you guys think it was a great trailer? I don't know. I thought it was okay. I was like, oh, cool. You know, but maybe for Saw diehard fans, they're seeing things that I'm not seeing. I don't know. I thought it was okay. Darren, can we expect a Wilhelm scream and it's me, Billy? Yes. No. There is no Wilhelm scream, but that'd be fun. Yes, that's right. Yeah. Sam does the Wilhelm scream. Victoria screams and then goes, you know. That'd be funny. That'd be really funny. No, there's no Wilhelm scream. Jeff Harris says, how old is your cat, Dave? I have a 15-year-old dog. Wow, 15. That's amazing, man. Thank your lucky stars, man. Thank you. Veda is 7. She's 7. So her birthday is, I adopted her when she was 1. I adopted her, actually I have a sheet that knows when she was a year old. I adopted her from a pet store called Pet Value here in Canada. I think it's a Canadian chain, actually. And she was a year old and her name was Yoda. And I'm like, no. First of all, it's a girl. And my girlfriend was the one that said, I think we should call her Veda for Vader, Darth Vader. She's black, right? So Vader, we're not going to call her Vader because she's a girl. So we called her Veda. And I thought that was really cool. And the sheet of paper that I got when I adopted her actually had her birthday on it. She was born December 20th, 2013. I was like, oh, Wow. So they actually knew she was born. But I adopted her when she was a year old. So, because I didn't want to adopt a kitten. I'm like, oh God. You know what I mean? No. If I'm going to adopt a cat, maybe at least a year old, I mean, kittens are cute and all, but man, a lot of work and don't do that. But she's so well behaved. Veda, I could have a bowl of tuna or a tuna fish sandwich and leave that plate out. She doesn't touch it. Now, if I were to give her tuna, she eats it like it's nobody's business. But she never jumps up on the counters or jumps up into places where she shouldn't. Never. She's so well behaved. So well behaved. It's quite impressive, actually. But yeah, she's 7. So she turned 7 in, this past December. She'll be 8 at the end of this year. So yeah, she's still spunky though. She's adorable. She's so cute. Mike Johnson says, did you have more fun making It's Me, Billy than the night he came back? 100%. 100%. I mean, the night he came back was sort of a flying by the seat of my pants, making it up as I go along, so kind of making it up as I go along. Like it turned into something bigger than it was supposed to be. But the night he came back was fun. It was a cool experience. That was just shot on the, it was shot on a couple of them. It was shot on the 2 DSLRs. And one was the Canon Mark II, which is a good camera. And it looks good. It looks good. It looks fun. But certainly it's not what It's Me, Billy is going to be. Clearly you can tell that, already. So, no, It's Me, Billy is my first time stepping into making a movie at this level. And I've always wanted to do it. I've spent most of my life in the entertainment industry as a professional voice actor. That's where my, I started out as an on-camera actor, actually. I did a couple commercials, some docudramas, I think, yes. And then I fell into the voiceover side of things. But I went to film school. I mean, that's what I went to college for. I went to school I studied film there. I took a bunch of film classes. I was there for a couple of years, didn't graduate. And I didn't graduate because I just thought there was just too many courses and I just couldn't keep up. But I learned a lot, and I've continued to learn a lot over the years on my own and reading and studying film and things like that. And really trying to grasp, and it's not like I know everything. I don't, obviously, come on. But I really got into learning about the business side of Hollywood. And filmmaking, which I think is, and it's not like I know everything about that either. I don't, but I know a fair bit about it, enough to be able to talk a bit about it and understand it, which is why I always say to fans, learn about the business, learn about filmmaking as a business. And if you do that, you'll be less perplexed by the decisions that are made. I don't understand why they're doing that. I'm like, yeah, I get it. You know what I mean? And when you understand the business side, you'll be able to make predictions better too. You'll be able to make predictions because you understand what's likely. Doesn't mean you're going to be right all the time, but you understand about what's likely and kind of what they're thinking and what they're doing and what they're probably going to do. Those are informed opinions. That's an informed opinion, right? It's not based on emotion. I don't care about it. You know what I mean? So I've tried to do that. And I did take a film business class in college. Mind you, again, that's like 20 years ago. But that was one of my favorite classes. Understanding it was about business and marketing and how films are marketed and all that kind of stuff. Again, things have changed because the internet was in its infancy then. So, things have changed since I studied it in college, but I've tried to keep up on it as best I can. And I find that the most fascinating. So, yeah, I forget where I was going with that, but anyway, yeah, that's me in a nutshell. The night he came back. That's right. Talking about that. Yeah. But I've always wanted to, I did those little Halloween shorts because I wanted to keep up with, expressing myself in that way, expressing myself through a lens and through Michael Myers and Halloween. I wanted to keep doing that, but I knew when I turned 40, it was like, okay, I gotta utilize, I have connections, I have resources, and I know people having spent nearly 2 decades in the business. I'm like, I got to do this. I got to stop humming and hawing and I got to do it. And so I reached out to Bruce, of course, who has connections I don't have, and I have connections he doesn't have. And we combined our efforts and sort of joined forces. And and did our best to make something happen. And that's what we did. So, but yeah, I mean, It's Me, Billy I'm making a movie, man. That was a really cool experience for sure. One I can't wait to do again. I am so eager to do it again because it was so much fun. And the crew was so amazing. So amazing. Crew, if anybody from the crew is watching, you're amazing. All right. I got a skedaddle here. I'm a little bit over time. Did I miss any super chats? I don't think I did. Let me see here. I don't think I did. Hang on. No, it doesn't look like I did. I think I got all the super chats. Really appreciate the super chats today, folks. I have to skedaddle. But again, thank you so much for watching the trailer. Thank you for your feedback. Continue to share it, please. Continue to tell people about it. I'll get that last super chat that came in here. I really appreciate it. You guys are amazing. You helped to make this possible. Yeah, we made it look pretty. And yeah, we designed it and did the sound and we did the presentation. But if it wasn't for you guys, it wouldn't exist. So again, sincerely, thank you so much for continuing to support us in this way, continuing to get the word out there. We really appreciate it. You guys are amazing, and continue to talk about it, continue to share it. Because like I said, maybe forms and pages that I don't even know. I don't know. I have no idea. I'm not really up on that, and I probably should be. But really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. And thank you to my moderators, of course, Frank Riker, Tap of the Shore, Darren Sands, and Chris Baber for doing what you guys do. You guys are amazing. Thank you to the super chats that came in. Thank you to the non-super chats that came in. I will be back on Thursday. Should be back on Thursday anyway, unless I have to cancel for some reason. 12 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. At the moment, unless something else piques my interest, I'll probably be talking about, again, unless something else piques my interest, and I hate the movie or something, but I'll probably be talking about Godzilla versus King Kong. But we'll see. Victor Charlie, $5. Thanks, buddy. Says, Dave, fantastic trailer. Sure did whet the appetite. I'm an RC enthusiast, so do you have any tidbits on the drone shots or how you sourced the pilot? Oh, I see what you're saying. Well, the pilot is it's a gentleman here in Toronto by the name of Adam Gamble. He runs Rise Up Pictures, I think was the name of his company. I mean, I reached out to, well, actually, we went through several potential candidates until we ended up with the drone pilot we did. And one of the reasons why we did end up with Adam, who's a super awesome dude. Adam, if you're watching, amazing. Really nice, totally professional, knows his shit. But one of the reasons why we ended up with Adam was because we needed I forget the name of the drone he has, but we needed a drone that could match. We didn't have it in our budget to hire a drone operator that would literally attach the ARRI camera to the drone. So we needed to hire a drone operator that could match the quality of the ARRI as best as we could, and which is what we were able to do. And that took a bit of sort of figuring out of how to do that. And so anyway, but he was recommended to us. Adam Gamble was recommended to us by our gaffer, Nikita. And so I reached out to Adam, total pro. He's done drone shit for films, that I'm pretty sure on Netflix and stuff. I got to go through his reel. But anyway, really cool dude, awesome guy. I don't know much. I'm not a drone. He is a certified drone pilot because we had to go that route. I don't know much about drones and the pilot licenses and the tidbits and beyond that. I'm not an expert in that field. But the guy who shot the drone shots for our movie, under the supervision, of course, of myself and Bruce and Greg, naturally, was Adam Gamble of Rise Up Pictures. And then Super Chat comes in from Intel Wild and says, Dave, Wolfman's Got Nards just pushed a video saying Kills trailer this Friday. Haven't watched yet, just read the title. Yeah, I don't know yet. I've reached out to a couple of my sources who say, I'm still waiting to hear back. I'm skeptical. I know the information that's going to be in that video from Wolfman's Got Nards. Barry's an awesome dude. I don't have any issues with Barry. I think he's awesome. I know what he's going to be referring to. I know Barry has a couple of sources that reach out to him. I am skeptical on it. Maybe, but I'm skeptical on it. The information he's going to have in that video looks legit, like in terms of its presentation, but there's other things that I know about these types of things that go beyond just a pretty face. So I have questions, and I have questions that don't really add up. Doesn't mean the trailer's not going to drop on Friday, but the information that you're going to hear Barry talk about, I'm a little skeptical. I'm skeptical. As soon as I know or get confirmation, if I can, I'll let you guys know through a tweet. But I at this moment, I haven't said anything, and I haven't made an announcement myself because I don't have enough information yet. Despite the fact that the presentation looks pretty of what he's going to show you, I don't have enough information yet. Thank you, Intel. I missed a $2 super chat. Did I? Oh, no. Let's go back. Thank you, Frank. You are the man. Frank is the man. Where is this $2 super chat? Did I miss a $2 super chat? Did I? Let's see here. What's the super chat, Frank? Jurassic Productions? I got that one. What's the super chat, Frank? I don't see it. I got the Jurassic Productions one, which was $1.99. I'm not seeing a $2 super chat missed. Let me know, Frank, if that was it. Because I did get that one, actually. $4.99, sorry. Okay. You're right. Rick W. Thank you very much, Frank. Rick W. I got it, buddy. Is there any other horror IP Bruce and yourself want a shot at? I haven't thought much about it, to be honest with you. I mean, Vince has got Friday the 13th, and a couple other people, of course, too, who are doing that, have got that pretty locked up. Cecil's working on Elm Street. I mean, Halloween has got some pretty good-looking fan films out there, especially as of recently. It's got some pretty good-looking fan films. Halloween has yet to have a, this level fan film, but I got to be honest with you, I don't really have an interest in doing it. I think maybe if it wasn't so saturated, maybe. Like, I would rather do, and I'm not going to, obviously, because, well, I guess I kind of am because I'm playing Freddy. But I mean, in terms of helming one myself, but I would rather helm an Elm Street fan film than a Halloween one right now. I got to be honest with you. I really do. And I think it's just because of how oversaturated the market is. It's just everybody and their uncle is doing a Halloween fan film, and it's just kind of, I'd rather do what nobody's doing, or, you know what I mean? I'd rather do that. But if I was to tackle a Halloween fan film, yeah, there's only, I mean, I can't, like, you gotta do it pro now, right? You know what I mean? Once you hit a certain bar, you gotta keep at least hitting that, but not off the top of my head. I think Jaws would be cool, but that adds a whole other practical dynamic that would be very difficult, like a shark and everything. And that'd be cool, though. Yeah, I don't know. I'd have to think on it more. I haven't really thought much about it. We've been so deep into Black Christmas. I haven't thought much about it, but Darren, how about a Porky's fan film, Dave? Continue the Bob Clark theme. Yes, and then do It's a Christmas Story fan film. Maybe we'll do that. All right, folks. Thank you guys. You guys are amazing. Really appreciate it. Like I said, I should be back on Thursday. I'm watching Godzilla vs. Kong this afternoon. Really looking forward to it. Team Godzilla, folks. Take care of yourselves. Be safe out there. Continue to share that trailer. Watch that trailer. Get it out there more. Really appreciate it, guys. You are amazing. So in the meantime and in between time, I'll talk to you guys soon. Cheers.